Hi friends, welcome back. Today we would learn, in this session we would learn about down payments made. Down payments to vendor basically. What are down payments? Down payment is kind of an advance paid to my vendor which will be subsequently adjusted with the remaining amount of invoice. Many of them ask, is there a difference between advance and down payment? In fact, this was asked by many of my students in an interview. That is there a difference between advance and a down payment? If we generally speak, both are similar in nature. Both carry an asset, property of an asset, current asset basically, in terms of accounting. But there is a very minute difference which an interviewer seeks and expects you to tell him. The difference is the is advance can be a token money or not. It cannot be a token money because I can pay 100% amount in advance of my invoice. Correct. If the liability is for 10,000, I can pay him complete 10,000 before the completion of work or before the delivery itself. So it can be that I have paid 100%. But in cases of down payment, if my invoice is 10,000, the vendor will expect only a portion of it. That is a down payment. All right. So it can be 50% or 20% or 10%. It's up to you. It's up to the business transaction. All right. So I hope you got what I was explaining you. Advance may be 100% or may not be 100%. So that's the difference between advance and down payment. Right? Down payment itself means that I'm immediately paying something, but the remaining amount I shall pay later. So this was the thought. So just let me keep this aside. Now, coming to down payment made. What is the cycle here? What is the business process? Let me tell you something. There is a process of down payment. How does it revolve around is like this. For example, I have a vendor here. This is me or my procurement team. This is part of my business, right? This is my business, the whole area. Well, my procurement department goes to my vendor and asks for specific goods. Like this, let me insert a few arrows that would be more interactive. Now, let's keep it simple in black, no colors. Now, as a first step, procurement comes in contact with vendor asking for specific goods or services. Fine. For example, the invoice amount comes up to 10,000. Then, in return, my vendor may ask for a down payment. Correct. Vendor will ask for a down payment, of course. He says he needs 10% of advance of or 10% of DP. Let us denote down payment as DP from now on. That would be very simple for us to continue with the session without any hassles. Now, upon this, who do you think can pay off to my vendor? It's not the procurement, it's the finance department. Right? Now, finance needs to pay my vendor. So, as a first step, procurement shall request, excuse me, here, procurement shall request finance for down payment. As I already said, request for down payment. Be careful here with my words. I said request for down payment. That's an absolute word to be used here. Hence, there needs to be a down payment request generated by procurement department and handed over to the finance department. I'm highlighting a few uh, words here which are very important. Now, when finance receives a down payment request from procurement, it's finances or finance department responsibility to either honor this request or dishonor this request. That means either pay my vendor depend upon the request by procurement or do not pay the vendor. Regular cases or general cases, finance department should pay because this is a business activity. So let's see. So this down payment request stands as a second step. Agree? Let me here. That should be more appropriate. I don't know why, but it's troubling me. Okay, so some good niceties to see things. Nice things, huh? Okay. As a third step, finance would pay the down payment to my vendor. This we can denote as DP, down payment. How much down payment? Depending on the request raised. So, as a second step, DP request was raised for 1000 because my vendor is asking 10%. Oh, sorry, 10% of invoice. My mistake. 10% of invoice here as DP. DP request is 1000 and finance has paid the DP down payment that is 1000 as my third step. All right. I'm going very slow here because I don't want you to miss out anything. These are very crucial points and very important uh, interview perspective as well. Should I repeat once? Please. Procurement needs some goods from vendor, but vendor requests for a down payment that is 10% of the invoice amount. Invoice amount being 10,000, down payment request should be ideally 1,000. Now, procurement generates a down payment request to finance for rupees 1,000. And then finance pays my vendor rupees 1,000. Right? So this was the cycle. Till here, it is fine. As soon as the down payment is made to vendor, vendor should supply the goods. Correct? Now, it's vendor responsibility to supply the goods. as step 4. Goods supplied. That's it. So now procurement has nothing to do with this. Goods have been supplied to my procurement department. Now, goods have been supplied to procurement, then who do you think will be receiving the invoice? Of course, finance department will be receiving an invoice. Let it be this way, folks. I hope you understand. Should be very simple. Keep it this way. Invoicing. Invoice received is 10,000. How much do you expect finance to pay off? Of course, finance has already made a payment, a down payment basically of 1,000 rupees, and the remaining amount is 9,000 only. So as a sixth and final step, the payment is made here. As a sixth step, payment of rupees 9,000. This may seem to be quite confusing because of the arrows, the numbers and all. Let me repeat it for you. Initially, as a step 1, procurement contacts vendor. Vendor needs a down payment. Hence, procurement raises a down payment request to finance as a step 2, and finance pays the down payment as step 3. After the down payment, vendor supplies the goods to procurement as step 4. As step 5, vendor supplies the invoice to finance. And as a step 6, final step 6, finance pays to my vendor. Since the invoice is for 10,000 and 1,000 is already paid, you need to pay remaining 9,000. This was the whole cycle for down payment and down payment request. Here are few things which you may need to understand. One is the down payment request and the another is down payment. This is a very basic or very frequently asked question in the interviews. Question comes as this way. What is the difference between down payment request and down payment? Now, the first thing you need to say is that this does not impact my books of accounts. Yes, down payment does not impact my books of accounts. I ask you one thing. What is the journal entry passed at step number 2? DP request. When procurement raises a request to finance department for down payment, what is the JV? In the second step for down payment request, there is no journal entry passed. This is merely a request. This does not impact my books of accounts. Hence, down payment requests are also called as noted items. Noted items are those items which do not have any impact on the books of accounts. All right? And down payment, it has an impact on my books of accounts. Right? So this is a very basic difference between down payment request and down payment. So let's move on to the SAP screen. Regarding the configuration, there are only two configuration steps, and the remaining would be user transactions. Configuration are very simple. We assign a few GLs, down payment request and down payment. But user transactions are many because we had to complete this whole cycle, posting an invoice, then down payment request, then down payment, and so on. So let's head on to SAP screen. Let's complete the two configuration steps first. Since it's configuration, I'll be moving to SPRO, display IMG. Under financial accounting, new, accounts receivable and payables, business transactions, down payments made. In customer also you have down payment, that is down payment received. Since we are into payables now, we'll move inside down payments made. Under down payment made, there are a few nodes where you can go inside, but currently you have no business going inside here. Just go inside this, define alternative reconciliation accounts for down payments. The T code being OBYR. Alright, OBYR. Go inside. As you go inside, you'll find here 4 columns here. First one being account type. You know what account type is. K stands for vendor. Similarly, when you go for down payments received under receivables, you will find a D here, that is for customers. This is for vendors only, hence K. And special GL indicator. The transactions such as down payments are called special GL transactions, right? So here you'll see many down payment transactions such as down payment on order, down payment, stocks, down payment, amortization, tangible down payment, intangible down payment, and so on. We will be using special GL indicator A, that is down payment on current assets. Why did I choose this? There is no hard and fast rule. You can use any of them. All right. So I go with down payment on current assets. Then there is down payment request. Can you tell me how many down payment requests did you see in the screen? Down payment occurrences? No, no. This is down payment request. One. No, 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 no. So only one down payment request. Correct. Because requests, down payment requests need not be separate for each type of down payment. Because there is no, what we say, no GL, no business transactions involved there. So let's head inside. And chart of accounts, we have created 9001. Now, recon account here is your vendor reconciliation account. I repeat, it is your vendor reconciliation account. When I go with the drop down, you will find only one GL. Look, our vendor reconciliation account. Do not choose any other GL, system wouldn't post the JV. And here is the special GL account. Here special GL is for your down payment request account. You may ask me, in my Excel, when I was explaining you about down payment request, I said that there will be no JV journal entries posted. Now, just let me give you one clarification. A journal entry composes of a debit and a credit. But what if there is only a single credit and no debit? That's no journal entry, correct? Hence, in down payment request, depending on type of transaction, you may have either debit or credit, not both of them. All right. So that does not bring up to be a journal entry. This is the reason why I said there are no journal entries posted. There will be a transaction. There will be a single line item transaction, either debit or credit, right? Not both. So here you will be seeing a down payment request account. Do we have a down payment request account created in the system in our company code? Let's see. I have cash, vendor reconciliation, and rent expense. I don't have the down payment request account. So let's create one. I leave the screen here untouched and open the GL creation screen in another session. What's the T code? It's FS00. I use /O to create a new session. So the previous session is untouched. It's safe there. Now I need to create a GL. That is down payment request. What do you think down payment request is? Is it an asset or liability? Think. Well, it's a liability because, let me go to my Excel. When you receive a down payment request, as I told you, it is your liability to honor or dishonor the request. All right. So that down payment request becomes your liability in this case. However, that really does not matter because it is not going to affect your books of accounts anyways. But that was the basic explanation for that. Under 2 lakhs. I have already created a GL under current liabilities 2 lakhs. So the next number should be 2 lakhs 1. 2 lakh 1. Balance sheet. DP request account. I'm copying it the same. You can have any name you wish to. Very important. Under recon account for account type, you need to choose vendor here, please. Okay, unless you choose this, system is not going to pick this GL. And line item was regularly given and G001 as usual. Current liabilities, I'm just repeating the properties of this GL. Current liabilities, balance sheet, DP request, the name, currency INR is default from your company code currency. For more info on currencies, just visit my video or watch my video where we created a GL. I have given more information there. For reconciliation account for account type, go to choose vendors, very important. Line item tick as usual and G001 and save. Under GL account 2001, so just copy the GL account we just created for down payment request and go back to the SAP screen. Under special GL account, you need to paste it. So I repeat, here the recon account is my vendor account, vendor reconciliation account, and special GL account is my down payment request account. Don't get confused, please. And down payment request special GL indicator is F. This is standard. This is not configured by me. However, you can create one for yourself, but that's of no use. Now, let's head on to down payment on current assets. As I told you, I'll be using this. Down payment on current assets. Similar recon account. I have one vendor. I give not vendor, in fact, vendor reconciliation account. Just press space. System would tell you or excuse me, sorry. System, just press space key. System would prompt you the recently used values for that field. A special GL account. I cannot use down payment request account here. You'll have to create a new GL because this is down payment made, not down payment request. So let's go back to FS00 again. Let's create a GL. Many of you may ask, so why are we creating these GLs whenever required? Why can't we keep them created beforehand? But that would be not so sensible to just create the list of GL accounts without knowing what their purpose is. So I just create these GL accounts as and when needed, so is that you know where are these GL used and what importance is it. So I'm here to create a down payment made GL account. What do you expect? Where should I create liabilities, balance sheets? Where? I'm giving you time to think. Down payment made. It should be created under current assets because I have made a down payment and it stands as an asset to me. So down payment made is an asset where a down payment request was a liability. I hope I'm clear. So down payment, I already have, no, I don't have current assets. Current assets start with 1,10,000. Create new, 1,10,000. Current assets, balance sheet, DP made, sorry, it's DP made, or DP should be okay. It's up to you, whatever name you wish to enter, you can enter here. Then control data, reconciliation account type again, it's vendors, line items. Since the GL is asset, you should not choose customers, it's still vendors. Line items, feedback interest G001 as usual. So what was the difference between down payment request account and down payment account is the account group, the name, it was balance sheet the same, and the control data, everything remains same. Create bank interest also same. Just save this, copy the GL number. I use control C, control V, or you can use quick cut paste from here. As soon as, look, now quick cut paste is disabled. As soon as I enable, you will find a dot here, that means this is enabled. This means that as soon as you just select the value and release the mouse button or the left click, the value is already copied. And to paste it anywhere, just right click on the field, you will get it. Right? That's quick cut and paste. I generally use it, but for training purposes, I don't use that. Next, let me save this. So here recon account is my vendor reconciliation account and special deal is down payment made. That's okay. Ignore the warnings. Well, the warnings appeared because I paste a value here to show you about the paste. So coming to my Excel, as I told you that there are two configuration steps which are completed. We have completed the configuration. Now we are good to go to the user transactions. Be careful in the user transactions, follow the steps wisely. For user transactions, we are going to follow these steps. First, we'll create a down payment request of 1,000. Next, we'll pay a down payment of 1,000. Then we will have an invoicing of 10,000 and final payment of 9,000. Should we change the amounts because already we have 10,000, 9,000 items. There are many. So let me change the amounts here. It's 28,000 invoice. Down payment request is 10% of the invoice. That comes to 2800. Same 2800. And the remaining payment, wait, I need to 25 to, oh, it's, how much does that come up to? 25,200? I hope so. Okay. So this is my plot. There are various T codes to follow this. For invoicing, you know the T code. It's FB60. For payment, as usual, it's F-53. For DP, it's F-47. And for DP made, it's it's F-48. Okay, so these are the T codes we'll be using in today's session for user transactions. Let's create a down payment request. I create a new session. However, I'm not going to need any GLs. Let's see. Let me take you through navigations as well. That would be helpful for you. F-47 it is, accounts payable, document entry, down payment, F-47. The accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, document entry, down payment, F-47 request. Document date be today's date. KA is the document type by default set in the system by standard. Reference, I say DP request by procurement. DP request by procurement. I have only one vendor, that's 1201, I guess. So vendor 1201 and target special GL indicator. Many students get confused here. Let me tell you one. What do you want me to choose here? Currently, I am posting a down payment request. For down payment request, the special GL indicator is F. No, you're not going to choose F. As it says, target special GL indicator. System wants to know for which kind of down payment are you posting this for which kind of down payment are you posting this down payment request? As I already told you, there are various types of down payments like down payment on current assets, financial and all. I'm requesting down payment for down payment on current assets. So the target special GL should be A. If the field label was not target special GL, instead, if it were to be only special GL, I would have used F. Because this is a very common thing where you are already in the down payment request screen, and why should I enter F? System already knows that I'm here for down payment request. System is asking you for which kind of down payment do you want to use this down payment request. All right. So now let's save. Enter. Press enter, not save. You don't have an option to save yet. Press enter. System gives an error. That number in 17 is missing. Well, you are already professional now in maintaining the number ranges. Let's maintain the number in 17 for KA as well. Double click on the error. System provides you a way to go. It's always simple to go to FBN1 and just maintain. It's only for the sake of you that I'm always double clicking on this. Else the T code is FBN1. Then you would directly land on the number ranges screen. I can show you the T code for this. Where system takes me is FBN1. I can directly use a T code and land there. Look, FBN1. This is a very common T code. 9001. I generally use space to see what value is already there. Click on intervals, insert interval. System asked for 17th number range. Year 2017. My mistake, sorry. It's 2017. Fiscal year is still 2017. From number, let's see what free number ranges are. I guess 3000 should be here. 3002 3999. I take and save. Press enter. Close this window. You're done with the number range creation. Go back. Oh, where's my screen? Oh, I accidentally closed my screen. I'm extremely sorry. It's a lot of work for me now. Not going back to F-47, just press space. System tells you what's the recent value you have used. Well, you need not go out of the screen of F-47. Just come back here and press enter after maintaining the number ranges. There you go. Amount for down payment request is 2800. Due on probably today, 0403/2018. 0403/2018. And save post. So now you have successfully created a down payment request. Wow. Do you want to see the document? Okay, let's go to, okay, I can show you the document here itself. I told you once. Document, display, system will show you the recently posted document number and document. As I told you in my pointing at my Excel, that there will be a document posted but only with single item. I can show you where I pointed this here. When I told you no journal entries, because there can be either debit or credit depending on your transaction. So system has posted a credit depending on the transaction because this is a liability for me, right? To be paid. So this is only one entry which does not impact my books of accounts. Let's check FBL1N, my vendor line items. Does this document show there? Let's see. It's 1201. I know my vendor. All items and execute. Now, residual is from my previous session when we discussed types of outgoing payments, but I don't see my document here, down payment request. So, because this noted item was not checked. Noted item, remove normal items check mark and execute. You will find a document which I just posted, 2800, which is a noted item. Hence, this is shown separately. Not under normal item because this does not impact my books of accounts. And the special ledger indicator is F. All right. So F stands for down payment request. Remember when posting we entered the down payment target special ledger indicator was A. So this is for A. It is still a down payment request. Hence it is F. I hope you understand. So we have completed the down payment request of 2800. Let's pay out the down payment we just generated. Why do you think does this down payment request? Let's not talk about the residual item, that was an old thing. Let's talk about this. Or I can just filter out the residual. I don't want to see that anymore here. What I can do is I can enter the posting date 0403/2018. It's today's date when I just posted the document. You will find only one. Okay. So this is still red because this has yet to be honored or dishonored. Let's honor this and pay the down payment. When I pay the down payment, this request should get nullified or cleared. Because when I just pay him, that request should be nullified, obviously. This should not stand as an open item anymore in my screen or the account. Let's pay off the down payment. From the T code F-48. Okay. Let me go through navigation again. Accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, document entry, down payment, and average 48. Quickly go inside DP, say DP again. Vendor is 1201, and special deal indicator is A here. Type of down payment, not the target. Bank account or cash, whatever. How much is the down payment I'm paying? It's 2800. Press enter. Amount again 2800. Well. One thing to be noticed here is I was in a hurry. Let me not hurry much. Here, when I just enter here, amount, that's a stop here. Very important point. If you have a down payment request already created, as in our case, we already have a created down payment request of 2800, stop till here and click on requests. So system would show you the existing requests in the system and allow you to clear them. But if you don't have existing down payment request, just press enter. Okay. So I already have a down payment request, correct? Document number 3000. I shall press on, I just click requests. So system shall show me all the document request, payment request available. So select the down payment request. Now, what if I want to use only portion of the down payment request, not the whole? You can double, there's an option to choose the amount here. Look, I can choose the amount here. It's up to me. Right now I'm using the whole document. You can either double click to select unselect or click on this block to select the icon. I have selected this and go to create down payments. Upon that, system would post a JV saying my customer, sorry, my mistake. My vendor debit, not customer, my vendor account debit and cash account credit, because the down payment is being made to my vendor account debit and my cash account credit, cash or bank, and just post this entry. So the document was posted. Now, what do you expect this to happen? Let me go back. This time I'll choose special GL indicator as well, because my down payment request is noted item. Down payment is special GL transaction. So both of them I need to see. What do we see here? F, which was my down payment request, is cleared and my actual down payment is created here, 2800 debit. But it is still red. Why is it still red? Because it is not yet set off with any of the invoices. It still stands pending, right? Though this is an asset to you, this still stands pending. It needs to be subset, or this needs to be cleared with some other items such as your invoice or goods or service. Okay, so we'll clear this with our invoice. Just stay tuned. Now we are done with our second step, down payment paid as well. Now let's post an invoice in FB60, invoice of 28,000. FB60. My vendor went to 01. Date is 4. Invoice for DP. Whatever reference you wish to enter, you can enter. Invoice is 28,000. Expense account amount 28,000. I hope you understood by now why am I always using this 4 lakh account as expense, because purchases or expenses are both the same. Now, as soon as I press enter upon these fields, Upon entering all the values, I press enter. System gives me an information dialog box saying 2,800 and a down payment on current assets exist. Good. I have nothing to do with that. There's just an information. Ignore. Accept it. Fine. Correct. I already have a down payment of 2,800 here. That's what system's telling you. So just post this. So what's the document I posted now? It's my invoice, expenditure debit, and my vendor account credit. Let's go to FBL1 and line items. This is the basic report where you need to visit every time just to get a hang of it. So these are the document transactions here. The first document you see is an invoice I just posted for 28,000, which is negative. The clear item is the down payment request, and open here is the down payment already made for 2,800. So after 28,000 invoice and 2,800 payment, what is the remainder? I need to pay 25,200. Is this going as per our plan? Correct. 25,200 is what we need to pay now. So let's go and pay off the remaining amount, that is 25,200. So go back to SAP screen. F-53. Your regular payments entry, right? This is where you generally pay off. Payment. Of course, payment. This T code is meant for payments. Amount 25,200. Account, vendor account is this. And very important thing. You can try it on your own if you wish to. And you need to enter A in the special GL indicator field. What happens if you don't enter this? Let's see. If I don't enter A here, you will find only two documents, 28,000 and 2,000. 2,000 is something which belongs to my previous sessions of residual payments, which is of no concern now. I see only invoice. Where is my down payment? As I can see in my line items, I have 28,000 and 2,800 advance. This is because I did not enter A in the selection screen. So you need to enter A here, and then you can find your 2,800 as well here. All right. Now, what are the items selected here? 28,000, which is correct. 2,000. No, this should not be selected. And you need to select 2,800 as well. This is similar case of my partial payments, right? What was the last step in my partial payments? I pay off the remaining amount. This is similar. So you need to select the invoice as well as the down payment amount. It says one item was not activated due to online payment block. Well, there's some standard functionality of online payment block on my down payments. Well, I will need to go to my down payment and remove this block manually for now. I go to my invoice, sorry, not invoice, my down payment document, and edit this under overview. I need to go inside computer store, my vendor item. Where is that? Give me a moment. There's no payment block in my invoice. Okay, it is not in the document, it is in the configuration where payment block is set in the special GL indicator A. Let's remove the same. Okay, you may note this because you may be facing this error sooner or later. It is in the config. Just give me a moment here. Online payment block. It's in the config for sure. But where? Here, check payment block results. Under business transaction, outgoing payments, manual outgoing payments, check payment block reasons. Here, under A, because A is what we are using, manual payment block, just remove this check mark. All right, just remove this check mark and save. So you're done. That was the change in the config we have to make. Well, it cannot be done right away. You'll have to come out of this screen, initial screen, and now re-enter the values. Now I deselect this 2000, which was my old transaction figure. So this is my invoice 28,000 getting knocked off or getting settled. No, I don't say settled because that would be complete settlement. It is like reducing the invoice amount by 2,800, which is my document. So the payment amount is 25,200 as per our plan, as per our scenario. Okay. So now let me save this or simulate this for first for you. This is the JV to be passed. My computer store gets debit 28,000 or my vendor gets 28,000 debit. My vendor also gets credit 2,800, which is debit for now due to down payments. And cash account is credited with 25,200 because 2,200, 2,800 cash account is already being credited during down payments. So save this. Since you have posted, let's check my line items. What do you expect to happen? Yes, completely knocked off. All my transactions are cleared now. Let's summarize the transactions here. Initial transaction, you can see F. F means my down payment request. By seeing F, you can say this was my down payment request, which is cleared. KR, this is my invoice, FP60 when I posted. This is my down payment, which I made of 2,800 initially. This 28,000 is what system has now debited my vendor, which was credit already. This was at the time of payment. And special indicator A, again down payment. This has nullified this 2800 with this 2800, which was debit, is now credit. All right. So this was your down payment. It was quite lengthy, but only in the user transactions. As I already told you, it had a very limited configuration steps, but more on the user side. So I hope you understood the whole scenario and the cycle of down payments. It may be complicated in the beginning, but it's really simple if you understand. Well, that's it for now. In the next video, I may take up APP, that's automatic payment program. Excuse me. Automatic payment program is a very important topic for SAP financial consultants. Almost 20 to 25% of the interview questions are from this topic, APP. We shall discuss this in the next session. Thank you.